Hi, my name is Rob Barrett and you're watching Cooking for Dads. Today we're going to solve one of life's great mysteries. What do you do with leftovers? We're going to make a leftover calzone. We're going to use Thanksgiving Day leftovers because it's a great Barrett family tradition, and after about 3 days of turkey sandwiches you're like, enough already. To make the calzone, we're going to use the same pizza dough that we did for the pizza night recipe. Fold it over, push it down. So if you know that, you can kind of skip ahead. You can also use one of those Pillsbury pizza dough things, and they're pretty good, but this is much better. What we're gonna do is start with 1.5 cups of warm water, add 2 packets of yeast. If you don't have packets, that's 5 teaspoons of yeast. We're gonna stir that around and set it aside. Then we're going to get a large bowl, put in 4 cups of flour, 1 spoonful of salt, 1 spoonful of sugar, 2 spoonfuls of olive oil, and stir that all around. Then we're going to add our water mixture and stir that around till it's one big glob. We're going to pour it out on the countertop and knead it for almost 10 minutes. Fold it over, push it down. This is a great job for kids. You're going to put it back in the bowl, cover it with paper towels and set it aside. Let it rise for 30 minutes unless you use quick rise yeast, then just 15 minutes. So while your dough is rising, get your leftovers together. I'm going to use Thanksgiving leftovers, like I said.
Your own recipe? Yes. And you would never want anyone to steal the recipe from you, right? Because it's yours, you invented yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You got our stuffing, we got our potatoes, our turkey, and we're actually going to use a little cranberry sauce. The sauce, instead of like a red sauce on the outside, we're going to use gravy. But you can do it with kind of whatever you have in the house because it just takes old stuff and makes it new. Viewer mail. Okay, some quick viewer mail. If you've watched some of the past episodes, you know that this show sponsors a family, a widow with her 3 kids in Ghana, Africa. And one of the cool things about sponsoring a family from World Vision is they write you letters and they say, this is what grade I'm in, this is what I'm doing. So this is a letter from our family in Ghana. We are most grateful to have you as our sponsor. I am a widow with 3 daughters. I can't give their names, so even show their faces. We live in a community called Ugwanar in the Sikir East District of Ashanti region of Ghana. You can look that up on Google Earth if you want. We are farmers and we grow plantains, mangoes, and vegetables. We live in a brick house with aluminum sheets. Anyways, you get the idea. It's so cool to get these letters and you can write back to them. So if you haven't sponsored a family or a kid, go to worldvision.com and check it out. Send it in. This is enough dough to make 2 calzones, so we're going to cut it in half. The other half will keep in the fridge if you wrap it in plastic wrap for a day or 2, and you can do it all again tomorrow. All right, so you've got your dough, you've got your cookie sheet. We're going to lay down parchment paper. That's optional, but it makes cleanup so much easier. We're going to roll our dough in a big circle. If you want to toss it in the air and get fancy, you can do that, but I'm just going to keep it simple. Okay, so roll your dough into a big circle, and now we're going to make the calzone. For Thanksgiving leftovers, lay a layer of turkey down just on the bottom half of the dough. Make sure you have a little border around the bottom because you're going to need that for sealing it up. Next, a layer of mashed potatoes. Keep your layers pretty thin. It adds up fast. A thin layer of stuffing or dressing if you're from the Midwest. And just some bloops of cranberry sauce. Not too much, just little drops. Now you're going to fold over your calzone and seal it up, just like this. Right. And go around all the edges, press it down, and I even like to kind of fold it up a little bit. Press it down again. You don't want your stuff leaking out all over when you're cooking it. Lastly, we're going to beat 1 egg and brush it over the top. This makes the crust really golden. If you want, you can put on some Parmesan cheese or some garlic salt at this point. I like mine kind of plain, so we're just going to put it in the oven, 350 for 20 minutes or until it's nice and brown. have it, leftover calzone. I'm Rob Barrett, you're watching Cooking for Dads. Cook well, it's worth it. You're gonna fold it across and push down. What do I say? Fold it over and push down. Then you're gonna put it back in the bowl and let it rise for 30 minutes if you've used regular yeast. Minutes if you use regular yeast. And let it rise for 30 minutes for regular yeast. You get it?
Yep. Did you get it?
I don't know. Fix it in editing. All right, we can eat.